NYIT is a community service of the New York Institute of Technology.
Covering the news of Nassau and Suffolk County's Long Island News Tonight with Ken Eckhart, Carol Peck, and the award-winning LI News team.
Good evening. I'm Ken Eckhart, and here's what's happening. That late season snow event that had been forecast for today seems to have spared Long Island, but it did bring a few inches of wet snow on parts of upstate New York, an amount far less than had first been predicted. The National Weather Service says the storm tracked further east than some models had forecast, so higher elevations in Vermont and Massachusetts got more snow this morning than much of the Hudson Valley. A few schools in the lower Hudson Valley delayed their start times today, and parts of the Catskills were expected to get 3 to 6 inches of snow before the storm moved out. For Long Island and New York City, the storm resulted mainly in just light rain, sometimes mixing with sleet. Former Queens resident Christopher DeMeo, who's already serving a life prison sentence in New York for killing a Long Island jewelry store owner, has escaped a death sentence in Connecticut. The 29-year-old DeMeo was found guilty in February of the fatal shootings of Tim and Kim Donnelly during a robbery at their Fairfield store in 2005. And a jury today sentenced him to life in prison without parole. DeMeo is already in prison for the murder in 2004 of Glen Cove jeweler Thomas Renison. Police are searching for a motorist who they say pulled out a gun and shot at another motorist in road rage. It reportedly happened early yesterday afternoon along Straight Path in Wheatley Heights. Police say a Brooklyn truck driver was cut off by an SUV. And when the two vehicles got to the next light, they got into a verbal battle. Then police said the SUV pulled ahead. The driver got out and shot 5 rounds at the truck driver when he drove past. The 54-year-old truck driver wasn't injured. Well, the weather sure didn't feel like an opening day at Yankee Stadium this year, but the calendar proved it was. And reporter Rob Marzano was among the lucky fans to have had a ticket to the first game of the 2011 season. He filed this report.
It was a day Yankee fans have been waiting for all winter. Baseball was back at Yankee Stadium, and the fans were back for the 2011 season opener yesterday, pitting the Bombers against the Detroit Tigers. Actress and granddaughter of George Steinbrenner, Hillary Swindle, sang the national anthem. And fans out in the bleachers began their own loud and crazy version of the roll call.
Curtis! 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 Curtis!
As far as the game, it was a great start to the season, with the Yankees winning 6-3. With 161 more games to go in the regular season, the Yankees' march for their 28th World Series title is now officially underway. At Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, Robert Marzano, LI News Tonight.
Well, Suffolk County police are searching for a motorist who hit a pedestrian, then fled the scene. Officials say it happened yesterday around noon on 5th Avenue in Bayshore. The 37-year-old victim was reportedly crossing at an intersection when he was hit by a southbound car, thrown into the northbound lane, and then hit by a second vehicle. Police say the driver of the first car stopped, but the driver of the second car stopped only momentarily, then drove off. The 37-year-old victim suffered 2 broken legs and was hospitalized in stable condition. For many Long Islanders, the arrival of spring means the time to start working around the house again. And if you're looking for some ideas how to spruce up your place, Tanya Cavallo says the perfect place to look may be the home show at the Nassau Coliseum this weekend.
With nearly 200 exhibitors, the Long Island Home Show in Uniondale is a one-stop shop for all of your home improvement needs this spring.
Even if you're just looking for a few ideas for self-home improvement, definitely come check out the show because there's a lot to see.
And some of the exhibits include kitchen displays, patios, and hot tubs. Here you'll find just about everything for inside and outside your home.
I'm surprised how many actual people I have here, and I'm also blown away by some of these construction things that they have put up here. I mean, I never imagined they'd be able to bring a whole kitchen in or a whole patio back there.
One exhibitor we spoke to says business is back. People are now starting to spend more money on luxury items like this hot tub here.
I think it has to do with a lot of people were worried over the last couple of years of whether they were going to lose their job, and they cut back on spending. And now they feel the economy is coming back a little and they're not losing their job. So all that money they had saved that they didn't spend before, I think now they're putting it out there on the table and they're buying.
So if you're a homeowner looking for a change this spring, come by the Long Island Home Show, open to the public all weekend free of charge. In Uniondale, Tanya Carvalho, LI News Tonight.
It was an up day on Wall Street today. The Dow finished the day up 55 1/3 points. NASDAQ was up 8.5 points, and the S&P was up 6 1/3 points. NYIT's LI News Tonight continues after this.
See a screening of the film Rebel Without a Cause at New York Institute of Technology's D. Seversky Center in Old Westbury on Wednesday, April 6th at 5:30 p.m. For more information, call 516-686-7567. Looking for a place to live? The Long Island Housing and Rental Expo will be held at the Islandia Marriott on Saturday, April 9th from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. For more information, call Action Long Island at 631-425-2700. The Gilbert and Sullivan Light Opera Company of Long Island and South Shore Syncopators celebrate the music of the 20s and 30s at the Ethical Humanist Society in Garden City on Saturday, April 9th at 8 p.m. For tickets, call 516-795-7745 or cast a line at the Spring Family Fishing Festival at Belmont Lake State Park in North Babylon on Saturday, April 9th from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. For more information, call 631-444-0283. If you have an event you'd like included on the LI News Tonight community calendar, send it to linewstonight@nyit.edu.
Press play to start your future. Learn the industry. Use the technology. Become an expert in television reporting, journalism, radio, digital film, public relations and advertising, television production, digital graphics, a beautiful state-of-the-art campus, a road to the job you've always wanted, in the media capital of the world. Communication Arts at NYIT. When can you start?
In world headlines today, Muammar Gaddafi has issued a defiant statement after two more high-profile departures from his regime, and he's calling on leaders of countries attacking his forces to resign. The White House calls the resignation and departure of top Libyan officials a significant blow to Gaddafi's regime and says it signals that his inner circle is crumbling. Gaddafi reportedly accused Western leaders of being affected by power madness and wanting to create another war between Muslims and Christians. A top Libyan diplomat now supporting the opposition says most high-ranking Libyan officials are trying to defect but are under tight security and having difficult time leaving the country. Officials with the company that operates Japan's tsunami-stricken nuclear plant say radioactive contamination in groundwater underneath the reactor has been measured at 10,000 times the government health standard. But a plant spokesman says the company doesn't believe any drinking water is affected. Meanwhile, Japan's health ministry says it has ordered more tests after a cow slaughtered for beef near the crippled nuclear plant was found to have radioactive contamination, slightly higher than the legal limit. Contamination has already been found in vegetables and raw milk near the plant, which has been leaking radiation since the March 11th earthquake and tsunami. And as HIV infections decline across the globe, the United Nations says it has set an ambitious goal of 0 new infections and 0 AIDS-related deaths as the next stage of the war on the disease. A new report by the United Nations on efforts of the last 30 years to tackle HIV/AIDS urges universal access to treatment, care, and support, and an end to discrimination against those infected with the virus. The report released today noted that the decline in global incidence of HIV infections, but called for greater funding for the fight. It warned that every day more than 7,000 people, including 1,000 children, are newly infected by the virus. Well, this is the time of year when college students start getting serious about lining up their first jobs or summer internships. And as some architecture students recently found out, a job fair is a great place to start. Jody Goldberg has the story.
These architecture students say they're out to make an impression at this architecture and interior design job fair. The event was held at New York Institute of Technology in Old Westbury. And with a dozen different companies with positions to fill, John Hyde, NYIT Dean of Career Services, says he's glad to see students are promoting themselves.
Today, the market is starting to bounce back. We're starting to see that as evidenced by employers coming back out for the fairs.
Employers from architecture and construction firms emphasize the competitiveness of the job market, saying anywhere from 100 to 250 qualified applicants will apply for a specific position. And they shared what important qualities companies are looking for in potential applicants.
Candidates that are looking to strive, great experience, motivated, can do stuff on their own, and just really get the job done.
Well, it would take a lot. I like to see enthusiasm in a candidate and a student. Definitely an interest in the construction management side of work.
With the recent upturn in the economy, company officials we spoke with say there are many career opportunities available for architecture students. And students we spoke with say they appreciate the opportunity to speak one-on-one with potential employers. This student is looking for a summer internship and says he's willing to take anything for the experience.
Anything, actually, just an experience. You have to experience it all before you could decide.
Jody Goldberg, LI News Tonight.
6 businesses in Suffolk County have been cited in an underage alcohol sting. Suffolk County police say 9 businesses were targeted in the sting, with 6 found to be in violation. The sting was carried out yesterday with an underage volunteer acting as an agent with the police, entering the businesses and trying to buy alcohol. Some of the stores were chosen the result of community complaints, while others were just randomly selected. Stores agreeing to sell the alcohol to a minor were located in East Northport, Huntington Station, and in Greenlawn. And U.S. farmers are expected to boost the size of this year's corn crop, potentially easing global food inflation by the fall. The Agriculture Department reports that farmers intend to plant more than 92 million acres of corn this spring. That's a 5% increase over last year, and it would be the second biggest corn crop since 1944. Grain prices are at their highest levels since the food crisis of 2008. New production will help ease concerns over a supply pinch. Worries over a shortage have doubled the price of corn since last summer, and those high prices are encouraging farmers to plant more corn. Well, we had a cloudy day today with some scattered showers, but none of that snow that was being forecast. The high was in the upper 40s. Tonight, showers early with a low in the upper 30s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high in the mid-50s. Sunday, a sunny day with a high in the mid-50s. Monday, chance of showers returning, a high in the upper 40s. And the outlook for Tuesday, chance of thunder showers with a high in the low 60s. And that's it for NYIT's LI News Tonight. I'm Ken Eckhart. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again on Monday. Have a good weekend.